Hello and welcome back. So glad that I can make your acquaintance once more. First of all, before we hop into this meal, this hot plate, what I have for the children of the world, I want to first start by saying that, girl, yesterday was a hot pickle. We were supposed to do movie night, which I didn't even remember up until the point that I started to see the comments on Patreon in the comment section of the girls asking, okay, girl, what are we watching tonight, girl? What's the feature presentation? What's the meal? And then I realized, okay, I must have said at some point that today was movie night. So that was that. Then all day, I've been trying to upload this week's episode of NQ. It finally, just now before I fired up this camera, she just now processed on YouTube. So not processed, but she just uploaded. Now she's processing. I think she said she's going to say about 13 minutes to process. So there's that. Then we have a new episode of The Code that, I just want to, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Skim through real quick just to make sure all the audio is on point, because like I said, sometimes we do have some audio issues, etc. That's my issue, not yours, but I just like to make sure for quality assurance that everything is, all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. So I have to skim through her one more time before I serve her up to the children. But I want to actually follow up on a story that I was talking about on the live show. I want to say this last live show, because I realized in the back of my mind, I'm like, did I ever finish telling that story? I feel like I got sidetracked and then never actually finished telling the story. So I actually want to finish telling the story right now. So let me just give the children who either weren't at the show or are not on the $15 tier, let me just give you a little bit of background. So we were talking about a friend of mine, and actually I've done a few videos about this friend who is no shade. At this point in my life, it's like, girl, I know what it is, and it's one of those situations to where when it becomes too much for me, I know how to withdraw myself. But so anyway, make a long story short, I did a few videos about this girl, but I just want to kind of finish telling the story for which I started. Okay, so make a long story short, this friend of mine contacted me, I don't even know, last week at some point. I think it was last week, and she said, I may need a favor from you. I might need a favor, but I don't want to ask you just yet up until I have exhausted all of my other options. But just know that I may have to call on you for something. And I told her, it's like, okay, girl, when we get there, girl, we'll cross that bridge, girl. We'll figure it out, on a need-to-know basis, girl. When the time comes, girl, we'll handle it. Like Olivia. So, even though I watched that show, girl, let me stop flexing. I mean, I had started watching Scandal, and then, girl, I think, the thing is, I thought it was good, but I don't know. She just didn't have enough drawing power for me. It's like she's a good show. I can see why people would like the show, but it's one of them shows that you ever watch a show where it's good, but then if you stop watching her for a certain amount of time, it takes, for some reason, and I don't understand why, but it just takes a lot for you to get back into the show. Not because it's a bad show or that it's slow or anything, but I don't know. It just feels like anytime I think about watching that show, I'm like, oh, girl, I'm not in the mood though. Like that's my impression of Scandal, but I digress. So he told me that he may need a favor, so I said, okay, that's fine. So make a long story short, fast forward, he contacts me. Now this is the day of. He contacts me. He says, listen, sis, I need to, borrow a few coins off of you. And when I say a few, I'm talking about $260. She said, I need to borrow a few coins off of you, etc. And because I have to, whatever it was, he kind of went into it, but I told him, I said, I don't even really, because that's the thing, I feel like this. To me, you're grown. I feel is that my logic, this is me. My logic dictates that if you're asking me for money, your friend, then that must mean you really need it. Right? Because that's not an easy thing to do. So I imagine so I don't want you to feel like you're already kind of like humbling yourself to ask somebody for money. Additionally, you're kind of like making yourself vulnerable. So to me, I just felt like you don't have to go down further to explain it to me in great detail. At this point, I've known you for however long I've known you, girl. I'm gonna go ahead on 260, girl, no problem. And it was no hesitation. The only thing I said was, girl, you need to come through and pick me up because I'm not gonna drive because he knows I don't like driving like that. Because even when I go to his house, girl, I just catch an Uber, even though I have a car. So I said, as long as because he had to come through, and because I was gonna drive to him to give him to help him. Like, girl, you need the coins, girl. The least you could do is come and get the coins. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, girl, just come through, roll through, pick me up, and we'll go to the bank, and it's no team. So he came on through, and I pulled out the money. And like I said, it was no hesitation. But when we got back to my house, we parked the car, and I asked him, I said, girl, no Tina Shay, I love you down. But I have to ask you, why couldn't your, because he's been with his partner, his boyfriend, about as long as I've been with mine. So I've been with mine maybe a little bit longer, but still, I mean, it's around the same time, like 2 years and some odd change. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, girl, but why is it that, you couldn't ask her? Not that I mind helping. It's just, I'm just, because to me, it just seems to me that, and this was not me coming at him like I need to know what the money is for. This was me asking the question because to me, if this is your partner, you should be able to depend on him. And I'm not saying that he would have the whole 260, girl, but he didn't even have a percentage of it. Because as a partner, I just feel like, girl, could you at least, at a $260, maybe could you at least do 50? Could you at least do like, girl, even 30? Like, he didn't contribute anything to it. So I just thought it was strange because in my situation, I'm not, like I said on the live show, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm perfect and by no stretch of the imagination. But at least I feel like in my situation, girl, I can depend on my partner, girl. If something happened, girl, I feel like he had at least worked to figure out where these coins would be coming from and try to collaborate and, work with the children in order to push things forward. But I just feel like with his relationship, like, okay, it's an emergency, but he ain't even trying. So I just was asking, like, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? And so then he was telling me, yeah, girl, this, that, and the four, blah, blah, blah. He was giving me the whole thing. I was like, okay, girl, well, I love you down. I support whatever decision you decide to make, whether I agree with it or not, because at the end of the day, girl, you're grown, okay? So you're going to do what you want to do anyway. But I was just like, okay, girl, if that's the meal what you're serving, girl, then let have. And if that's what he's giving and you're willing to take it, girl, then let have. So fast forward. This was the part of the story that I didn't get to. So now I love him down, but he tried it, and he's tried it. Because, see, I had started this story on the live show, but I never actually went into why he tried it. So here's how he tried it. So let me get this right. I'm trying to get it right in my head. So actually, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Because I had loaned him the money. Then he had to get his paycheck on that Friday. When he got his paycheck, he came, he put my coins off to the side. Picked me up, and then we rode down because I figured if you're coming to drop my money off, I may as well ride down to your house with you. That's a Uber ride. Like because what's the point of you gonna drop the money off? You go back to your house, and then I catch an Uber to your house. You see what I'm saying? Like that to me, that would be a waste of money. If you're already in the area, you're going to your house. I may as well just hitch the ride with you, get my coin, and then kiki with you at your house and play video games. So he came over. So it was 2 weeks ago. I gave him the money 1 week. Then he got paid. Then he came to drop off my coin, and he picked me up as well. And so then, okay, here we are. Now we're at his house. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go get me some rolling paper, girl, because he wants to roll this blunt. So we go to the corner store. And he pulls out this wad of cash, and I'm like, girl, what you doing? He's like, oh, girl, here's your money. Here, I just want to give you your coins. He's like, go ahead on and count that. I'm like, no, girl. No. I'm not going to sit here in the open and count $260. That, to me, is just, like, not safe. So you have to be, like, more aware of, like, what's going on. Like, I'm not saying that we was in the hood because we weren't. But, the children get mugged no matter where they go. So it's kind of like, girl, why are you handing me all this cash out in the open like this? I say, girl, no, ma'am, no, God. Girl, no. So she hands it to me. I said, girl, I'll put it in my wallet. I'll count it once we get back to the house. But then when we got there for the rolling paper, she didn't even have enough money for the rolling papers. I was like, girl. So then I went to my wallet, and because I had some cash just in my wallet, maybe like, I don't know, $15, $20. Before he gave me my coins back. And so I was like, girl, okay, don't worry about it. I got the rolling papers. I think maybe I was missing a quarter or something. And he had the quarter. But anyway, so when we got to his house, like inside his house after we got the rolling papers, get to his house and I pulled out the money. So I'm sitting there and I'm counting. Now y'all know math is not my strong suit. But girl, basic multiplication or basic math, like addition, girl, subtraction, girl, I can very easily calculate these numbers when it just comes to adding and subtracting. So I'm like, okay, let me count this again. I count again. I'm like, girl, let me count her one more time. I said, sweetheart, can you come here and count and look this over? Because I feel like maybe I'm, because see, that's the way I like to do it. Because I don't want it to come across like I feel like he was trying to cheat me out of my coin. So I meant that, I'm like, maybe it's me. Even though my mom, I'm like, I counted her 3 times. Let me let you count it. So he came over and he's counting her. He's like, oh, girl, it's only 200. I said, yeah, it's only 200. He was like, oh, you know what, girl, you know what it is? I probably left her the remainder of your coin. I'm guessing it fell out in the car. And I'm thinking, girl, why you lying, bitch? Why you lying? Because you know you lying, girl. Yeah, like why you know you lying. How did it fall out? Like you had it folded up inside of your wallet, girl. How did she fall out? Mm, I think you're lying, but that's okay. So she's just like, okay, girl, I think she fell in the car. So now not only is she telling a lie, but now she's acting it out because she's like, oh girl, I'll be right. Let me look in the car, and I'm sitting there like, now, bitch, you know good and goddamn well that it's not in the car. So I wasn't even expecting her to find it because girl, I knew it wasn't in the car because you didn't pull it out. Is what it was. Is what it was. And so she comes back and she's like, oh girl, you know what? I don't know what happened, girl. I think I lost it, and oh, I'm so mad, this, that, and the fourth, and I'm just sitting there like, she is really selling me this. All she really had to say is just the truth, really, which was, oh, girl, for whatever reason, I don't have the whole 260. And maybe I would have been a little bit like aggravated, but at the same time, I would have received that better than you trying to like put on this Chitlin Circuit theatrical production of, girl, where the money at? Like Jagged Edge, girl, where the money at? Like, girl, you up here trying to sell it to me, girl, but at the end of the day, girl, you can't sell it because you don't have the product. So I'm just sitting there like, girl, okay, girl, I'm gonna let you have that, but at the same time, girl, at the end of the day, girl, you never had my coin. But I digress. So then she says, oh girl, I think I lost the coins. I'm so sorry, sis. But could I give you the remainder of the 60 on my next paycheck, girl? Because I already paid all my bills, this, that, and the fourth. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, even though, like I said, I would have preferred him say that first. This is the reason why, because I feel like in the future, like I'm not gonna let it interrupt my friendship with him per se, because my mother always taught me, if you don't have it to give, then don't give it. So to me, it's like, okay, I loaned you these coins. You did give me the bulk of the money. So girl, even if I had to charge that 60 to the game, girl, I'll pay it. But at the same time, it's like, girl, I won't be loaning you any more additional coins. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I'm not even gonna fall out about it, girl. $60, girl, $60. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to minimize it. Like, oh girl, $60 ain't nothing. Don't get me fucked up, girl. You can always use an additional 60. But what I am saying is, girl, what I'm not going to do, since when you came to me for the money, girl, and you got it all in cash, girl, I didn't give it to you in installments. So when you told me that you were going to give me my coins back, girl, I kind of expected to get all my coins in one bulk, like one down payment. Instead of it being like, okay, girl, you get this amount this week, and then the next following paycheck, you get the remainder. Girl, no, this ain't no layaway. Girl, I'm not Walmart. Girl, there really isn't an installment plan. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you are my friend, girl, so I will work with you. And I will, like I said, if ultimately I would even be okay with paying that. And when I say paying it, I just mean like charging it to the game and not expecting to get my $60 back. Because that's another thing. With him, sometimes he could be cheap, which is so funny because he's so extravagant. But he be serving the girls like, frugality, to the point to where it's like, girl, she be walking up in here with these Celine bags and with all of these Louis Vuitton luggage, girl. But that's because I don't think it's real. And it's no shade, girl. I ain't mad at her getting the fake I mean, me personally, girl, if I was gonna do it, I would want it to be real. That's just me being honest with y'all. But like, I'm kind of to a point in my life to where if I'm gonna do it, girl, let's really go there and do it. But at the same time, I'm not mad at the bitch that's rolling in here, girl, giving you fashions on a budget. So as long as it looks good, you know what I'm saying. But the only thing about getting it fake to me is, I just feel like I'll be too self-conscious about, girl, is the hardware peeling off? Is everything still on point? Because I had bought, when I was in high school, this fake-ass Louis Vuitton book bag. And for like the first week, I was like feeling so fresh to death, girl. I felt so expensive, girl. Like, I felt super expensive. But then, maybe like a week into it when I went back to school, because I had bought it on the weekend. Because I was working at Cold Stones at this point. I had bought her on the weekend, I want to say. And then what happened was, by that weekday, when we came back to school, girl, right away, threads start to come out, things start to peel off, and it was just kind of like, girl, are you serious? But to be fair, I think I only paid like $40 for it. So, I mean, what did you really expect? You know what I mean? But But she do be buying like these, and not only just that, but she be always trying to find a way to like a loophole through the system when it comes to like paying for stuff. She always find a loophole through the system, and she do be trying it with the children. And I definitely don't. She already knows how I feel about it. That's why I don't be wanting to be involved in her scams, because I'm like, girl, I don't feature all that, and you know what I give, girl. And she be like, oh, girl, but why would you pay the full price if you don't have to? Because for me, and that's something people don't understand about me. It makes me feel good when I can pay the regular price. And when I say the regular price, let me be clear. I'm not saying I don't like to find a sale. What I'm saying is I like to pay for it legitimately and know that I can walk out the door and nobody's pulling me over because I'm trying to get over on the children. I ain't here for all of that. One time I was with this girl, this white girl. And girl, we had got there. Her family had coins. That's part I don't understand. Her family had money. But girl, we went to Target one time, girl. I think it was. Yeah, it was Target. Because she didn't really feature Walmart. But anyway, we went to Target. And girl, she was shoplifting like a mug. Girl, makeup, girl, underwear, all kind of things. But because she was white, the girls didn't even stunt her. But you know who they did stunt? Me. And I wasn't even stealing. That's the part that's so crazy about it. Like, she sat there and stole like underwear, undershirts, makeup. Because we were going to a little... Actually, I did a video about her. The girl, don't read my tweets, her. But I digress. So, girl, she was up there, girl. She stole all kind of stuff, girl. And she got away with it. Sure did. And she wasn't even pressed because she knew she was going to get away with it. She was like, girl, that's fine. Girl, she moseyed on about that door, girl. And I was just sitting there like, ooh, girl, ooh. Like, to me, first off, maybe if I wasn't black, it would be easier. I don't know. Because to me, I feel like I already feel like the girls be looking at me anyhow. But... in any case, it makes me feel good when I can go in there and buy it and not and I can walk around. And if a bitch tries me, girl, I have receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, girl, I'm sorry, I need you to back up before I give you a lawsuit. Because you trying it with me, girl, and I'm about to hand you this motherfucking sickening-ass lawsuit, girl, because you're being discriminatory. And you're going, girl, I'm a customer, girl, I have a receipt. You know what I'm saying? So I wish you would bring me into this loss prevention. When you know good and damn well I didn't steal nothing, you know what I'm saying? And while the girl who actually is stealing is outside in her car, but anyhow. So she do be trying it. And, you know, I think she's obviously I think she's a good person, but she just be trying it. She do, and that's just me being realistic. I mean, she don't try it as much as she did when we were younger, but at this point, okay, so we're both 28 now. Yeah, at this point, girl, it's like, girl, you need to leave those stunts behind you, girl. We are too old for stunts. But girl, it'll be little things. Like, let me tell you a scam that she runs. And it's like, why do you do this? Like, okay, because at this point, she makes a good coin. Like, it's not like she ain't, like, rich, but you make a decent coin to where $7 ain't that much. So, anyway. But what it is sometimes she do be living extravagantly, so that's the reason why her coin don't be stretching as far as it probably could stretch. Because, see, me, girl, I live within my means, girl. I pay all my bills first, and then I start to, I pay it, I do my budget in my head, and then I start putting my things in my Amazon cart, which, by the way, I decided I was going to go ahead and do that Prime, girl. I think she was like $8. But I don't even know how they do it, because I signed up, but, you know, for the free trial, but I'm like, okay, so after my trial, you're just going to take the $80 and then that's the whole thing for the whole year? Like, I don't even know how that works. But I looked it up, and I will say with Amazon Prime, most of the things that I purchase, girl, they get here in 2 days. So, to me, I feel like it's kind of worth it because I order enough stuff from Amazon. But my point is, girl, I do my budget in my head. I start to pay my bills, and then I put all my shit in my Amazon cart, girl, order my shit off Amazon. Or I go to the mall and I order whatever it is I'm going to order, my clothes, whatever it is. Because sometimes the Amazon don't got what I want. But in any case, girl, let me tell you what she did. So we were in Kroger. And I went and I got me some juice. This was actually the last time I was there. I went and got me some juice, and she purchased her something else. Like, I don't fucking know. She got some, I don't know what it was. She got some food, and then she also got some Orajel. Now, with the Orajel, let me tell you what she did. Okay, I don't know how she did it, but some kind of way she went in the system and made it into something else. Like, I don't know, like a fucking banana or something. Something that is cheap. And some kind of way she made it into a banana, and then she may have paid like 89 cents for that. Something that was like $8, she paid 89 cents. I was like, oh my God. Girl, you grown, you know what you're doing, girl. I don't condone it. Like, I'm not here to support that, girl. You already know how I feel. But I'm not gonna keep telling you the same thing, because my thing to her is, girl, when you take from the universe will take from you. Now, I do know that, you know, places like Walmart, they treat their customer service like shit, or their workers like shit. They don't really give the girls what they deserve. But at the same time, girl, I be feeling like, girl, that's not really your place to steal, because also when you steal from her, even though she ain't the best person, like the best company to work for, Excuse me. You make it harder for everybody, including the people who are like on your level. Because when you still, I remember when I went to court for my for the suspended license, and when I had gotten to the little minor offender bender, there were girls in there, because when you go in, there's like a bunch of girls being tried in front of the judge. So I didn't realize it was gonna be like a bunch of us in there. It was like 30 of us in there, and so I was like one of the last bitches to go. And so anyhow, she while I was in there, the judge was saying to the one girl who was shoplifting, she was in there for like 3 times. He was like, "Why do I keep seeing you?" And he was like, "Girl, I'm going to put you in there. I'm going to give you a stronger sentence this time, because, bitch, this is the 3rd time I'm seeing your motherfucking ass." And you realize every time you do that, you make it harder for everyone, the workers and the customer, because the more you steal, the higher the prices go. See, I didn't know that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, because they have to make that up. You know what I'm saying? Because I think when you, in like retail, they have like an area of where they expect certain things to be stolen, or not certain things, but they expect to lose a certain amount of money through theft. But at the same time, I think after a point, you start cutting into their profit to the point where they have to like not do as many sales. The prices go up a little bit higher. So I understand, but I don't know. Sometimes I mean, he's grown now, because he knows. We've talked about it. I've talked to him about just little different things. Like, he be telling these lies, and I told him, I said, "Girl, I knew you." And I'm not trying to shade how I'm giving him too much. I'm just being realistic. Like, I told him, I was like, "Girl, I knew you and you had nothing. Like, and I was still your friend, girl. I still loved you even then. So why are you carrying now? Like, why are you lying to me of all people, girl? I already know. Like, you don't have to give me too much. You don't have to give me too much, girl, because I know. Like, I know who you are, and what your life is, girl." But I will say, like, one time we did have a heart to heart, and he explained to me why he be lying and stuff, and that's what makes me kind of stick around, because I know he's a good person out, and he just be trying to fit in. But you don't have to try to fit in. I feel like for where he is in his life, he's doing better than most people in our age. You're young, you're an attractive person. People think people are attracted to you physically, and I will even say he's charming too. Like, so it just is blowing my mind sometimes when I think about, like, why. That's what my mom was talking about in the podcast. Like, why do the girls be lying? Like, why do they feel the need to carry and tell these lies, especially in a situation like him, where it's like, girl, but you're actually kind of that girl. You don't actually have to lie about it, but he be wanting to like lay it on extra thick with special sauce, pickle and onion. He be wanting to give you the works. Instead of just giving you like this cheeseburger that's snatched, he wanted to give you like cheeseburger fries with a Coke light ice. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just be giving you a whole lot. So anyway, that's the one thing that he did that I kind of felt like, girl, you low-key tried it, girl. I love you down, but you did try it, because, girl, I gave you the coins in total, but you only gave me my partial coin. And like I said, I will grant him, he gave me the majority of my money, but you did not give me the full total that you owed me. So, that's that on that. Like I said, I'm not going to sweat it, because at the end of the day, I'm grown, and I knew what I was getting into when I loaned him the money. In the past, I've loaned him money, and he did pay me back in full. This time, he did not, but I've never loaned him this much money. Normally, it's like $80, $50, I don't fucking know, something like that. This time, but you know why he asked me for that much money though, girl? It's because he knows he knows now that I'm better with my money, and now I'm making more money. So he's like, oh, he probably has it. But also, see, that's the thing about it. It's also a joy, because I'm glad that he felt like he could come to me to ask me for help when he needed it. The only issue that I had was, here's the thing you should have said from the beginning, really. Listen, I'm going to borrow the money. Is it okay if I pay you $200 in the first paycheck, and then I follow through and give you the $60 on the remainder? See, that wouldn't have aggravated me, because at least I know right up front what I'm getting into. But to then give me just $200 and try to pretend like, the rest of it is in the car, and then you lost it and all this, and then you like acting this out. It's almost like, girl, I already know you're lying, so you may as well. Now I feel like you're insulting my intelligence, because you think I believe you and I don't. And it's almost like I don't want to make it weird by telling you, girl, like, okay, baby, you don't have to lie to me. I already know you're lying. So how about this? Just give me the rest of my coin on this next paycheck and pay it. You don't even have to go through all of this. Because I'm like, it'd be awkward to me. Like, girl, please stop lying to me. I'm not the girl to lie to. Seriously. I'm not the girl to lie to. Not just because, like, oh, who do I think I am? But because I know you. I get it. Like, I was poor. I was like legitimate poor. If it wasn't for the people who blessed me and came through for me, and my mom, and people who just reached out to assist me, and the person who bought me this laptop I'm even working on today, like, I had a lot of people who cared about me to help me. So I get it. Like, you don't have to like put on to impress me. You don't even have to impress me. Just be you. That's the reason why I'm your friend. It's because overall I like you as a person. And of course you have these, but then I feel like we all have things that are annoying, including myself. I'm sure. Like, I'm sure people who know me in real life can be like, girl, I love you down, but when you do X, Y, and Z, girl, you get on my fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm a person. So by default, I'm sure there's things that I do that aggravate people. I'm not confused or in delusion about that. But anyway, I just want to share that with y'all and give y'all more of a lighthearted table read. Because normally these days when I come for table reads, it's more or less me kind of sharing with you guys my thoughts or whatever about different things about life. But I just want to give y'all like a lighthearted kiki. And like I say, you know, I'm not going to give too much on my friend because I do love this person. This person, I will say, not monetarily, but in other ways has had my back, even though throughout our friendship she's been trying it. And I've been clocking her all along the way because I do feel like if you have a friend, you have to. It's not really a friend if you can't confront them. And when I say confront them, I don't mean like being aggressive, but just telling them like the truth. Like, girl, because like when it comes to like her lies, I'll tell her like, girl, I love you, but one thing that's gonna cause me to not be able to be there for you as a friend is these lies. Because you put me in awkward situations. Because I'm not the only one. People who are around you long enough know you're lying. And you know, they know. Like, if they've been around you a few months, something you say is not going to add up. And she's the kind of friend who, girl, no tea, no shade, no lie. Every situation you could think of, she got an experience. Like, some kind of way she got an experience. She's affiliated some kind of way. I don't know that there's any situation that you could say that she wouldn't have an experience for. Like, oh, I want to go skydiving. Oh, for real? Girl, I went a few years back. Girl, no shade. They had a sale going on, a sickening sale. And I went over to Arkansas, like, okay, I want to swim with the dolphins. Oh, girl, about 5 years ago. Oh, you know what? I want to get a moon rock. Oh, you know what? I got a friend who's an astronaut who works for NASA. Girl, I got about 4 or 5 moon rocks. Anything you can say. Oh, such as Nelson Mandela. Oh, you know what? I had gone to South Africa just before she passed. Like, that's her. and so she would do stuff like that. And then people will be looking, and I see them looking like, you could tell when, like, in their mind they scratching their head like, she lying, huh? And so I would try to like come in and like get her to like shut up, like, oh girl, you know what, girl, let's go make this sickening cocktail. Number one, because I need one, but number two, because I don't want you to keep making yourself look bad. And then sometimes it cracked me up because he'll call certain other people liars, and in my mind I'll be thinking, girl, you can't do that. You can't call her a liar, even if she is one. Or you can, but you can't make it seem like, oh my God, she's such a fucking liar. Because, girl, so are you. But, and then we almost fell out. Like, there have been a few times in the decade I've known her where I couldn't deal with her, and I was just like, girl, I can't be your friend no more because of these lies. But then she'll come back and she'll apologize and, you know, be very genuine in her apology. And that's the reason why I be trying to help her so much, because I'm like, girl, you got it. That's what be confusing me, you guys. Like, you actually, when I met her, she didn't have nothing. Where she is now, girl, she has a sickening ass apartment. She's making legitimate coins. Like, she has a Mercedes, like, sickening. Like, and then she got it all decked out, you know what I'm saying? Tinted windows. Although that's not really my style. Like, if I had a Mercedes, I wouldn't be doing all of that. To me, I'm not really into that. Like, I feel like I might do certain things, but it'll be very minimal. Like, I don't want to go in there and change my rims out and black out my windows. And one thing he got in his car that I think is really cool is he has like these lights on the inside interior to where when the car cuts on, it lights up like the door so it's not dark in the door area so you can see what's going on. I think that's kind of dope. And he got it like different colors and stuff. I think that's, but my point is, and I'm talking like, I'm very proud of where you started to where you've gone. I don't get why you feel like you have to lie to the girls. Maybe he feels like he's been lying to them for so long to where he can't now just come out the box and say, girl, I've been lying all this time and I'm starting from scratch. I don't know. Maybe he feels he's just too deep. He's just too far. He's too far gone into the lie. I don't know. But in the past, we've stopped talking just because I'm like, girl, I can't take it. I can't take it. It's too much. And then it'd be just like stupid lies too. Like little things. I'm trying to, let me just, oh yeah, you know, my great grandmother at one point was, you know, Michael Jackson's cleaning lady. maybe if it wasn't so many other lies, that could be believable. Because if I told you, like for instance, I could tell you something like this. If he told it to me, I would think he was lying just because he'd be telling so many lies. But if I told you right now what I'm about to tell you, you would believe it because I don't be coming to y'all telling y'all a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But like, here's something. My mom, like my family, my mom, my uncles, and aunt. I start to say aunts, plural, but I have one aunt on my mom's side. So, or that's a lie. I have great aunts, but in terms of like my mom's sisters, she only has one. So, make a long story short, my family, they went to the same church as Whitney Houston. So they even though she wasn't really a star back then, it was more her mom in the church who was apparently the person who people knew. But they went to the same church as Cissy Houston, the whole family. Like they were all in the same church. So they all remember her, but they just don't remember her as a star up until she blew up. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that, because it's not like, I don't have like a bunch of like, oh girl, additionally, you know, my mom, my grandmother dated Elvis. Like, now you're going too far out the box. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on now, come on. But anyway, I digress. So, that's what I just want to finish telling that story, because I'm sure, I think with the episode of NQ that I'm about to upload onto Patreon, I feel like I started telling the story and I didn't finish, and I'm sure the people who were following the story are like, but wait, what's the part where he tried it? So that's the part where he tried it. He didn't give me my entire check. He just gave me $200 from the $260 that I loaned him. So anyway, having said that, look for the code that's coming out today. NQ that's coming out today. And by the time this uploads, I'm going to send out another notification. Everything should be uploaded by the time you see this, God willing, universe willing. Everything should be uploaded. Because I missed movie night yesterday, we're going to be doing movie night on tonight. Not even tonight, today, like early in the day. So we're going to get it out the way. We're going to have a good time together with the family. We're going to sit down and watch this movie and get our life. So be looking out for that notification for the girls that are in the $15 tier. I will be sending out the notification so that we can get our life to this film. I have to see. I don't even know what the movie we were supposed to be watching is. I'm not exactly sure what it was. But I was reading. I saw like through my Twitter. I think it was. Was it Twitter? Let me just check real quick before we sign out. I think through Twitter, I think one of the patrons was saying that they had a movie night, which I'm perfectly fine with. Girl, let have. If I'm not available, at this point, you all know each other anyhow. You know what I'm saying? You guys come to the live shows. You guys comment under the comment section. So shit, if you guys do a movie night with each other, girl, let have. It's mother, when mother comes through for this plate, girl, mother's coming through for this plate. But at the same time, girl, if you want to, in the meantime, girl, have a snack, girl, have this snack, girl. I ain't mad about that, girl, let have. But like I said, we are going to be doing this movie later on today. So just be looking up for the notification. So listen, I love you guys down. You already know the drill. Via Blangelite Galisam, the best will always come through. And as always, until next time, baby, that's all there is.